It's a pretty nice gym inside here. While I was walking to my normal studio, I found this free gym called Sejong's Gym. And I thought, wow, a free gym, that's amazing. Wait a minute. I knew it. I knew there was something about this gym. You have to pay money to use the equipment. Look at this little barbell here. $1 per curl. That's ridiculous, guys. Any donations made today will go directly into me using this equipment. Knees slightly bent, palms facing your sides. 8, 9, 10. This is actually heavier than I thought. Hey guys, welcome to my Korean class. Today we're going to be learning about 편이다. Now, the form 편이다 is actually, of course, a combination of 편 and 이다, to be. 편 means a side. Right side, left side, other side. I'm on your side. 반대편. 반대 means opposite. 반대하다 means to oppose. 반대편, the opposite side. 건너다 means to cross. 건너편 means the side that you get to when you cross something. So across from. 맞은편. 맞다 means to face, to look at each other. So the side that looks at a certain side. So again, you'd also say the opposite side. And 니, your 편, your side. I'm on your side. Hopefully, if you think about this, it'll help you to translate this better into English. So let's learn our form. The way you do it is you take a verb and you conjugate it into a present tense adjective. For example, 좋다, it would become 좋은. With an action verb, let's just do 가다, it would become 가는. So you just take the verb and you conjugate it into an adjective as usual. Then you attach 편, followed by 이다. Now this 이다 will be conjugated in either the past tense or the present tense. So it could be 편이에요 or 편이었어요, past tense, but it will never be future tense. It's not going to be 편일 거예요. This form is used subjectively. 편이다 is used to state your opinion, the speaker, to say that person or that thing is a certain way. But there are a lot of different ways you can translate this form. Fairly, somewhat, or kind of. So this is just the descriptive verb 친절하다, to be friendly, to be kind. 편이다. He or she is on the side of being friendly. He's on the friendly side. But it won't always translate to that. He or she is fairly, somewhat, or kind of friendly. You're not saying they are friendly, but when you're using this form, you're just stating it as your opinion. Yeah, they're fairly friendly. They're somewhat, or they're kind of friendly. Another way you might see this translated is relatively, as in compared to other people in that sort of sense. Because they're on a side of something, that must mean other people are on a different side, right? So relatively, they are friendly. When it's used with descriptive verbs, you can say something like, on the descriptive verb side, on the kind side. He's on the nice side. My friend, he's a bit on the talkative side. He's relatively talkative. He's fairly, somewhat, kind of talkative. So you're not stating something as a fact, you're stating something as your opinion. So keep that in mind. Sometimes when you're using this with an action verb, a nice translation will be tends to. He or she tends to exercise a lot. They tend to do that. Why would you want to even use this form over another form? It can be used to downplay a description of something or someone, even yourself. So you can say, you think this person's super nice. Yeah, I think they're somewhat nice. You're not saying they're super nice. He's relatively nice relative to other people. He's on the nice side. He tends to be friendly. In this way, you can downplay what you're saying. When you would want to do this a lot is with compliments. Now that can be yourself too. You can compliment yourself without sounding like you're bragging. If someone says, hey, can you speak Korean? You might want to downplay it a little bit. Yeah, you're like, yeah, I'm relatively good. I'm fairly, somewhat, kind of good. I tend to be pretty good at it. It downplays what you're saying. So it's not just stating something is, but you're saying like, yeah, it's on that side, you know, relatively, yeah, it's relatively good. It's pretty good, that sort of sense. So you can say like, yeah, 좀 잘하는 편이에요. I'm on the good side in that sort of sense without saying 잘해요. I'm so good. And this form 편이다 is not used for stating the obvious. It's not used to say something that everyone already knows. Don't say something like, he tends to be a Korean. He is on the Korean side. The guy you're talking with, he is a Korean. He speaks Korean. He's a little Korean-y. That doesn't make any sense. Don't use it for stating anything that's obvious. The sun tends to be hot. It's on the hot side, right? It sounds sarcastic. Don't use it for that sort of stuff. So don't use this to say something that you couldn't add the expression, "it's just my opinion," in English at the end of your sentence. There's one more thing we need to know. Whenever you're using this form with an action verb, in order to make it sound natural, you need to use an adverb along with the action verb you're using. You can use some other adverbs too, but you need to have some sort of description of how that action verb is happening. You wouldn't just say 운동을 하는 편이에요. Yeah, he tends to exercise, which sounds kind of okay in English, but in Korean it would sound like he is on the side of exercising. You're trying to say someone is relative to other people, relative to other things, does something. Well, does something what is relative? What about that thing they do is relatively different than other people or things? That's what you need an adverb to say. I was trying to say state and say at the same time. To share. You need an adverb to say those kinds of things. Okay. 그 친구는, that friend, that person, 그 친구는 말이 많은 편이 아니에요. That person is not on the side of having a lot of words, or that person is not on the talkative side. You could switch this up. You could say 편이에요. Is. 그 친구는 말이 많은 편이 아니에요. That friend is not on the talkative side. Or that friend is not somewhat or not relatively talkative. 그 친구는 말이 많은 편이 아니에요. That friend is not on the talkative side. Let's do the next example. 오빠는, my older brother, 운동을 많이 하는 편이에요. 운동, exercise, 많이. Notice how there's an adverb in here because we're using it with an action verb. So 운동하다, to exercise. 하는 편이에요. He is on the side, he leans toward exercising a lot. So he relatively, somewhat, exercises a lot. He tends to exercise a lot. 오빠는 운동을 많이 하는 편이에요. 우리 엄마는, my mom, 먹는 것, things that you eat. So food, 먹는 것에 신경 쓰다, to care about what you eat. 신경을 많이 쓰는 편이세요. So she is on the side of caring a lot about what she eats. So my mom tends to care a lot about what she eats. 우리 엄마는 먹는 것에 신경을 많이 쓰는 편이세요. 제 동생은 나이에 비해 키가 큰 편이에요. So, my younger brother or younger sister, relative to his or her age, 키가 큰 편이에요, is on the tall side for his age. Literally, relative to his age, but for his age. 제 동생은 나이에 비해 키가 큰 편이에요. Despite being quite young, he or she is on the tall side. 저는, I, 채소보다 more than vegetables, 과일, fruits, 많이 먹다, to eat a lot of fruits more than vegetables. So I eat more fruits than vegetables, 먹는 편이에요. So I am on the side of eating a lot of fruits more than vegetables. So I tend to eat more fruits than vegetables. 저는 채소보다 과일을 많이 먹는 편이에요. Yeah, this is what you mean. I get it. 8, 9, 10. Oh, these are kind of hard. 남자친구가 게임을 많이 하는 편이에요. So my boyfriend, 게임을 많이 하다, plays a lot of games. 편이에요. He's on the side of playing a lot of games. He tends to play a lot of games, or plays somewhat a lot of games in that sort of sense. So I'm stating my opinion. For example, if you are a master chef and your friend asks you, "Oh, are you good?" You want to say yes. But if you were to just say, "Oh yes, 아주 잘해요, I'm very good," it sounds like you're kind of bragging, even if you are. So it's better to say, 좀 잘하는 편이에요. Yeah, I'm kind of good, I think. I'm relatively good, compared to most people, I'm pretty good. So you can still compliment yourself without making it sound like you're boasting about yourself. 남자친구가 게임을 많이 하는 편이에요. So my boyfriend tends to play a lot of games. 제가 다른 사람들보다 타자가 빠른 편이에요. So I am on the side of, I'm relatively, compared with other people, 다른 사람들보다, literally more than other people. 타자가 빠른 편이에요. So I am fast. I'm on the fast side of typing compared to other people. I type on the fast side in that sort of sense. 제가 다른 사람들보다 타자가 빠른 편이에요. So you can kind of brag about yourself. You're like, yeah, I'm on the your voice doesn't have to go up high like this. You don't have to reverse puberty to say this form. 다른 사람들보다 타자가 빠른 편이에요. I'm rather fast at typing more than others. So let's do one example of it in past tense. 저는 어렸을 때부터, from when I was young. 어리다 is to be young like a child. So when I was really young, when I was a child, 키가 큰 편이었어요. I was on the tall side since I was young. So since when I was young, I was on the tall side. I've been on the tall side. 저는 어렸을 때부터 키가 큰 편이었어요. I was on the tall side since I was young. You can also use this form with past tense adjectives with action verbs. You take an action verb and you conjugate it into a past tense adjective. For example, 먹다 to eat would become 먹은, 하다 to do would become 한. 오늘은, as for today, 평소보다, more than usual, more than regular, 많이, a lot. 먹다 to eat. 편이에요. I am on the side of, I ate, past tense, a lot more than usual today. So today, I ate more than usual. Although this is past tense, it will still be present tense. Because you're saying, I am on the side of having eaten more today. I'm describing myself. I am today, ate a lot more than usual. That's how it works in Korean. I am on the side of having eaten a lot more than usual today. So today, I ate a lot more than usual. 오늘은 평소보다 많이 먹은 편이에요. 지난 학기, last semester, 성적이 잘 나오다. Literally, 성적 grades, your school grades. 잘 나오다, came out well. So I got good grades last semester. 편이었어요. I had tended to. I was on the side of. I kind of got good grades last semester. Because we're saying this is totally in the past, it's more appropriate to use 이었어요, past tense, because you're talking about your situation. You're talking about your state, the way that you were in the past, not the way that you are. No, this is last semester, completely in the past. 지난 학기는 성적이 잘 나온 편이었어요. So last semester, my grades were relatively good. 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 8, 9, 10. Okay, my arms do kind of hurt a bit. 그럼 다음에 또 봐.